Hey people, welcome to Ride or Die. Your host today is Betty. I want to talk about Beatrice Domond and shout out to all my sports and extreme sport fans. Shout out to Tony Perks, um, I Roller Boot. Shout out to um, all the um, what you call it people that do um, fitness channels and sports channels. Yeah, shout out to you all. But I want to talk about this Beatrice girl. Like now, ever since I made that video on what Gifted Hater said, I've got bare people. I think the mainly white men coming on to complain about what I said. It's quite obvious that a considerable amount of white men who are skaters don't like hearing an opinion of a black woman. But I don't need to ask their permission. Do you know what I mean? To comment on Beatrice. If I want to comment on a black female skater as a black woman, I'm going to do it in here. I'm not going to ask the permission of white men whether I can comment on another black woman's skating skills. Yeah. Um, so if you don't like my opinion, take a seat in it. Take a seat, and click on the X button in it. But one thing I did say in the video, and I stand by it, is I don't think she's a great skater. I think there's more things going on as to why she's turned pro. I definitely think like it's a fashion thing. Like she wants to be a model, isn't it? She's a fashion model, isn't it? And the fashion industry. The fashion industry in the West is obsessed with tall and thin, and obviously she's a brown girl. Do you know what I mean? African American. She ticks a diversity box. Um, Obviously in the West there's an overrepresentation of white people in all areas of activity. Um, and and especially in the skate community, they are the face of it, aren't they? Let's be honest. So it's just so refreshing to see someone like Beatrice, um, especially as a black woman myself, learning skateboarding. I never learned this as a kid whatsoever. It was always seen as a white boy sport. Do you know what I mean? The white hippies. Um, and I didn't know any black men or any black boys that skateboard either. Do you know what I mean? I'm from Manchester and the UK. So the like Greater Manchester where I live, it's only like 5% black anyway. Majority of people are white people. So but I grew up in quite a multicultural area. But I didn't know any black people that skateboard, you know. So yeah, so like learning as an adult to skateboard is a definitely a new experience. But I bought a skateboard from Amazon, and boy, when I did a video of it, like I had a whole host of people saying, "Oh, support the local skate shop, blah blah blah. Don't buy a board from Amazon, etc., etc., etc." But I'm happy with my Amazon skateboard. But I did actually buy a longboard, and I spent a lot more money on that. I bought that from Spain, and that cost me like 90 quid. And I actually really like my longboard. It's a lot easier because it doesn't have a concave. But anyway, so going back to Beatrice, she's a fashion model. Let's be honest. She always looks a little bit awkward when she's skating, and I think it's probably because she's tall. I don't know if her posture doesn't seem. She seems to. I think she's quite tall. Her posture seems. I don't know if her posture is not that. She doesn't stand up properly, but because obviously you get men that are tall like her, but they don't look awkward. I don't think she's a great skateboarder. But another thing I want to say is I don't think it's fair to compare Beatrice to a male skateboarder because in any other sport you wouldn't compare a woman and a man's skills and expect a woman to have the exact same skills as a man. Women have less muscle mass for one. And muscles is what you need for sport, and let's be honest, muscles and muscle strength. So I think it does affect women when they're skateboarding, and I don't think a lot of these men stop to think that, look, you know what I mean, you boys have more muscle mass than women, so of course you're going to be better skaters and endurance. But I also feel like the skateboard community and like companies like Vans and places like that, they want to hit the diversity box, and they've just picked up her. You know, they seem to have, like, the fashion industry for one has a little fetish with like tall and thin black girls anyway. So, and she's just picking the diversity box. I think it's a shame because, you know, the black women skaters I've seen online, there's better ones than Beatrice. I've got to be honest with you, there's better ones. But maybe they're not wanting to be fashion models. Do you know what I mean? And that's what she's basically doing. She's doing the fashion model thing. Like someone said on my channel when I made the video, said she's going to sell a lot of shoes for Vans, and she is. Do you know what I mean? She's good for the optics. People getting fed up of seeing white men as the face of skateboarding. Do you know what I mean? You know, whiteness doesn't come in lots of varieties. Let's be honest. Do you know what I mean? But blackness does. Skin shade wise, do you know what I mean? There's a huge phenotype difference in blackness than there is whiteness. Do you know what I mean? But I do feel like if I was her, I would certainly practice more. Because that's it. She doesn't, like, when I've watched her, she looks kind of awkward and uncomfortable, like she's going to slip off the skateboard any minute. She doesn't, when I watch her videos, she doesn't look like someone that's practiced for a long time and been skateboarding for a long time. Now, I've heard some people say that she's been doing the same trick for years. And it does kind of look like that. I hate to say it. It does kind of look like that. Oh, I don't know who this guy is. I think she's always going to get hate simply because she's a black woman. She's a woman for one. She's going to get hate for that, and she's black as well. She's going to get hated for that. Do you know what I mean? Daring to go into this white boys sport and stuff, and she's a pioneer, isn't it? But she's not that great. I can't be honest with you. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm just. Do you know what I mean? She's just. Yeah, I mean, it's just like she just doesn't look like someone that practices a lot. Do you know what I mean? She's just like. You know what I mean? I hate to say it. I mean, sometimes she looks good. Let me see this one. Yeah, she looks good there. Oh. No way! You mean she looks like she's about to fall off, and you just think, how long have you practiced that trick? Do you know what I mean? It's like you've only just learned that trick. Let's have a look at this here. Let's see, we're here. Oh, that's good. I don't know what that's called. When you flip the board. Like, there's some videos I see of her, and I think, oh yeah, she's good. But then there's other times she just looks a little bit. She looks very bent over, like she's got bad posture. But when you compare the male skateboarders who are as tall as her, they don't look that uncomfortable. And I don't want to compare her to a male skateboarder, but unfortunately, there's not enough female skateboarders as it is, let alone female black skateboarders. But I do think she needs to practice more. I mean, if you have mediocre black women becoming pro, it's sort of it doesn't bear well for, you know, women's sport anyway. I think the issue for her becoming pro is simply because there's a lack of investment for black women doing sport as it is, especially sort of like a white boy sport like skateboarding. And I think this is why you're going to get people that are not really great, like black women that are not great skateboarders, like Beatrice being able to turn pro because there's just not enough black female skateboarders as it is. So there's very slim pickings for any company that wants to sponsor a black female skateboarder. It's quite slim pickings. Yeah, I like this video. I like a Trixie. I do like a Trixie. But she's not got to do all those big, massive jumps. Like, you know, like you watch some men do skateboard and they're just like doing, like, you know, the street skating, they're doing ridiculous, like, tricks. That's not her, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? She's not doing anything dangerous or really, you know, putting her back out, if you know what I mean. Let's have a look at this one. Oh, she does. You know what? Because I was watching a video when someone said that. Oh yeah, she seems to do the same trick for years, and I sort of know what they mean. She does seem to do that constant flipping of the board. Do you know what I mean? And like, you know, if you compare it to like even some, if I compare it to some of the black men that skateboard, you just think, yeah, she's not, she's lacking in it. Well, I don't know if it's not. I don't think it's even fair to compare it. I'm comparing her to black men because they're black themselves. Black men are black themselves, but black men have a lot more muscle mass than what, you know, black women have. So I think there's a certain amount of skill they're going to be better at this type of thing. Anyway, because for example, you wouldn't compare Serena Williams to like a male tennis player, would you? You wouldn't compare it, and they, you know, they wouldn't be allowed to play together, you know, versus each other. So that's why I don't want to be too harsh on her in that. Let's have a look at how long's this video been going? 12 minutes. Let's see. Let's go through all her little clips. Yeah. When you look at the show reels, there's nothing. I'm not really seeing anything that's. Let's see, she got any drop-ins? Is that her? That hill bombing. You know what I mean? There's nothing. When you're looking at her page, there's nothing really extraordinary that she's doing. And you know, I don't know what type of skater she's a street skater or whatever, or does other things, but it is. I know what it is the same trick. She does like I don't because I don't know of other videos I've heard, but it is when you the content that she's putting out, it is the same kind of tricks. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing really extraordinary. I'm not seeing her jumping from huge set of stairs onto the ground or anything. You know what I mean? She's not. I've not even seen her on the ramp and drop in. I've not seen her even be on the ramp and drop in on the skateboard. Even though there's plenty of ramps there, I've not seen her do that. So, yeah, that's kind of weird as a skateboarder. I mean, even I was watching the skateboarding championships, and there were female skateboarders that were well better than Beatrice. Do you know what I mean? I know people do have a point, but I honestly think she's hitting a diversity box, and it is what it is. It's business. It's not always the people that have the best skills that get the job. That's just how it is. Hey ho. Anyway, tell me what you think. Yes, I have filmed some content of me skateboarding, but because I'm living in a building site right now, because the block of flats that I'm living in is getting renovated, the lighting is messing up, so I have to film outside. But by the end of the week, I'll be putting out a video of my skating progress. Bye bye.